Yeah, Harley, you're not able to make it? I understand. I know you people pulling you all over the place here. I understand. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll talk about you, Harley. Don't worry. All right, take care. Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling in. Hi, I'm Ben Coleman, your anchor host here for the Florida Aviation Network. And that was our guest, Harley Richards. He called in, he was tied up and not able to make it. But we're at Sun and Fun 2021. And this is the final wrap-up day. And I think this might be the final wrap-up show.
It is.
So therefore, Harley apologized, and he's normally very, very prompt and very courteous, gracious gentleman. We will have to catch him later, and we will. We'll get you, Harley. And as a stand-in for Harley, we have the next best thing for Harley is we have a former interview with Lights Leanhouse that talked about what Harley was going to talk about. So let's talk about what Lights talked about for Harley, and we'll see how this works out. Laurie Bradner is here, and Laurie interviewed.
What did you just say? Let's talk about.
Have to play the tape back. Have to play it back.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
hit rerun on the DVR.
I'm still bad. Okay, it's fine. We'll go with it. It's a pleasure to be here, Ben. Thank you.
Laurie, I understand you spoke with Lights Leanhouse, and he is basically the president of...
He is.
Okay.
He is the president and CEO of Sun and Fun. And I have to tell you, Ben, when Lights Leanhouse is in the room, he wants you to have a Sun and Fun day. He made us all say it, and you better just hook her harness into that chair, Ben, because his energy... I don't know. He must have had about 574 cups of coffee this morning, at least, and going strong. But he was so excited, Ben, and it was so wonderful as a wrap-up. As you know, we're on our last day of Sun and Fun. Mm-hmm. And
what did Lights have to share of any particular highlights?
Okay, how much time do we have, Ben? You got a couple of hours?
We got like 10, 15 minutes.
That's not even going to be enough. The first thing that he said is obviously 2020. Was a year of desolation, isolation. It's been a year of loss for everyone. And it was felt, I can tell you, and you know this as well, it was felt across the world. And especially for organizations that are, Sun and Fun right here provides 75% of all of the funding that keeps all of the programs running throughout the year. And of course, as he said last March, the entire world, and he said it much more eloquently than I ever could, came to a screeching halt. And when that happened, obviously, every bit of funding, everything they had planned, and I know that Harley would have touched on this, that well dried up instantaneously. And they had to go back, and in true Sun and Fun fashion, we've been through inclement weather, we've been through tornadoes, we've been through it all. Then they hunkered down, as Light said, they hunkered down, they meeting of the minds, put their heads together, and they said, we will persevere. And they did. And as he stated, they started shaving off, getting rid of all the heavy weight, right? Getting rid of all the extra baggage as much as they could. They went to many of the vendors and asked if they would roll over. And, you know, we knew this was going to rebound and come back this year. 50% of them did that. And like you said, even some of the largest vendors, Bose was one, because of the COVID restrictions still in place, they're not able to travel. So it wasn't really their choice to say, we don't want to support Sun and Fun. It was simply due to the restrictions. But it has been, he said, half of the individuals that had purchased tickets for 2020, they maintained, they kept those. The thing that struck me, and I think that this is telltale of the world of where we are, Ben. Yesterday, he said literally yesterday, they surpassed they broke 2 records for the number of people and ticket sales that they have ever done in the 47-year history of Sun and Fun. He said Ben, it was so great. Ben, are you glittering? Ben is glittering. I'm sorry, it just caught my attention. I want a close up on Ben. Ben, I'm seeing a little sparkle.
Do I have a glow about me?
I think you might have a glow about you. I'm seeing a little sparkle, Ben. I just noticed. I love it. We're just all sparkly here on the set. But anyway, going back, sorry, squirrel. Going back, they said, what he said was that it got to the point that he literally had to have every volunteer at the admission desk, every volunteer, Lights Lean House, President CEO, gave the word and said if someone comes up with a piece of paper, a ticket, or a cell phone and says, I purchased this, he basically said, you wave them in, forget the armband, don't worry about them, get them in the door, sent the word to all security and said, we're not looking for armbands anymore, let's open our doors. And he said, it has been so refreshing. And, Ben, I'll be honest, I think this is what the world needed.
Well, we no doubt have seen the divisive nature of what we've gone through the past year and a half. And it's sad because either way, you're going to see people after this year, and it comes out that all these people we had together and there was no increase in contagion.
Right.
And then they're going to say, see, I told you so.
Right.
And then if the worst thing happens that we had a major outbreak and it was a super spreader, these folks at Sun and Fun are so responsible, I told you so. So either way, you can't win.
Well, and you know what? I really think we did, and I've been so impressed, Ben. You've been out on the grounds. I've been out on the grounds, and I know even here in our studio now, what our viewers are seeing, they're not seeing us with our mask on, but Ben, they're not seeing us backstage when we have our masks on. And we were truly, all of our camera people, they've got their masks on, and of course I've never seen so many bottles of Germy gel on a set, and so much Lysol. I think that's my new spray. That's the scent you're smelling, is the Lysol that I'm smelling. We've been so careful here on the set to make sure that we're protecting our volunteers of all ages. I'm seeing that out in the field as well. And any tent you go into, even among the Sun and Fun and the individuals at Sun and Fun, I really do feel that they've taken always an aviation safety as primary, and I think that they're doing the same. But it is just, I think people were longing for this, Ben. People were longing to turn the lights back on, to come back out of their shells. And we had, this goes back to, we had the Stratus winners, Project Stratus winners, and Ben, it broke my heart to hear them talk about 2020 and the impact it had on them as teenagers. And so it's so nice, Ben. We may not be out of the woods yet, but you know what? We can see the light. And I think this has been a wonderful weekend. We've had beautiful weather. The weather continues to be absolutely gorgeous here. And so Lights was beyond excited. I mean, we kind of had to strap him to the chair because if we hadn't, he would have been, up here. He was just so excited. But then, Ben, guess what?
Tell me.
He started talking about Project Skylab.
Oh,
and Ben, I have to tell everybody, I'm going to do another shout out. Do you know? They 80%, even with COVID, they made 80% of their budget. Do you know today, Ben, until midnight tonight, anybody that contributes now, I absolutely love James Ray. I had the pleasure of meeting him. He called me Lucy. He will always forever be endeared. A big shout out to Chuck because I miss him as well. But I want you to know the Ray Foundation, anyone that donates, they're matching.
Dollar for dollar.
Dollar for dollar until midnight. And this is not, everybody sees it on the grounds of Sun and Fun, but I think Lights made it very clear, and I appreciate his commitment to the mission and vision. It's really about the students. And as a public educator, we need to do more for our students in K through 12. And what they are doing here at Sun and Fun is really breaking down the walls of the classroom, and they're making education not only practical but applicable for all ages. And Skylab is going to have holographic, Ben, dig this, I'm so excited, holographic technology. Like the coolest thing ever, Ben.
It's the future.
Mind blown. Glitter, kind of like you're kind of glitter, Ben. It's so excited. And so just Lights was, I don't know, I think his energy is left in this chair because I'm kind of channeling that energy. I'm a little excited just hearing about everything that he's got going on. Destination Aviation, the camps, 3 camps happening this year. Ben, hello, anyone that's out there in the grounds of Sun and Fun, so excited if they go to STEM Fusion, which is right at the Compass Rose, do you know they can sign, and I know parents are ready for this, I understand, it's been a year of e-learning, I understand, I'm an educator, I get it, I have 4 children, Ben, I got this. We are ready. Get our children out of the house. Please send them. Go, 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 go. Yeah. Destination Aviation, 3 camps, 3 age groups, elementary, middle, and high school. If they sign them up today at Sun and Fun, 50% off, Ben.
That's good. That's great.
So
that's
yes,
great. That encourages.
Yes, great things. I know. Just great things. I'll hush up. I'll let you ask me another question. I'm ready.
Well, actually, I was going to make a statement.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm ready.
We have a lot of experts, and you know what an expert is. Right?
Yeah.
It's a former drip under pressure. So.
Exactly.
But I have an expert suggestion.
You do.
This will help for all immunizations.
Yes.
Bacteria and all things. If you subject yourself to a nice full breath of either prop wash or Jet A exhaust, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine, really. And you know what prop wash is?
I do.
You can't get it in a bucket.
No, you can't.
But you stand behind an airplane as it's running, the propellers generating wind.
Yeah.
And the exhaust, it sucks in.
Yeah.
Take just a big breath.
Clears the sinuses better than Vicks.
And all the little molecules that it's generating in there, your antibodies, what is this? Okay, we're going to fight it anyway. So a big breath of prop wash and the smell of Jet A in the morning.
Absolutely. Nothing better.
That's like Robin Williams, I think, came up with that one.
Yeah. Nothing better. And I agree, Ben. And, we would encourage everyone to come out and just experience this. I did verify with Lights because I said something earlier. I was going to double check your facts. They are already, Ben, we haven't even closed the show. Do you know what? They're getting ready for bigger and better next year, April 5th through the 10th. You won't want to miss it.
Now
all
you
roads.
got me on the edge of my seat.
We don't need roads, but all roads lead right here to KLAL and Sun and Fun.
KLAL. Now, for the people that don't speak aviation, KLAL.
Oh, I speak aviation. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I feel so smart. I feel important now.
What is K for the LAL?
I'll let you answer that, Ben.
Well, it's an international predecessor for a precursor for the airport designator, which is Lima Alpha Lima for Lakeland.
Right.
So K, Lima Alpha Lima, because there may be a Lima Alpha Lima somewhere else, but if it's got an M or a P in front of it, it's a different country.
Right.
So anyway,
awesome.
K is for the United States, and ask me why it's K.
All right, Ben, let me ask you a question. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why is it K in front of KLAL?
Why the United States has K in the beginning of its designator?
Right.
I don't have a clue.
Oh. Now, Ben, you set
Not
me
a clue.
up.
I did. And you'd think the Bahamas would be B.
Well, I would think so. That's logical.
But it's not.
What is the Bahamas, Ben?
I think it's M.
It's M?
I think so. And the Pacific Rim is P. I do know that. So for the
Pacific Rim Paradise. Yeah. I can go with that. I can go with that.
We digress here at the...
Not at all. Never.
But why don't we... where are we going to go next, Laurie? I know we don't need roads to go here.
No.
But there's... where do we go next? And I'm thinking about that little place up near the lakes.
Oh gosh, what is that? Is that
it's a pinch for air something?
Is that air?
Air.
And it's someplace where isn't there a children's clothes brand? Something.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
Gosh, what?
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Oshkosh.
My gosh.
Oshkosh and Air
Venture. Yeah.
Yes. Ben, talk to us about that.
Well, I understand that it is going to be going full swing this year, and again, that is the largest. This is the second largest, but that is the largest, and I believe that we're going to be met with a much similar response.
Can I tell you a story about that?
Talk to me.
I have a story.
Laura, can you tell me a story about that?
I can tell you a story about that because Lights mentioned that.
Okay.
Do you know, after they broke the 2 records, Lights has already called the president and CEO of Air Venture.
Mr. Pelton himself?
Yes, Mr. Pelton himself, and told him, you better hang on, and I believe this is a quote, we have to look back at the tape, you better hang on to your hat because they're all coming up to you. So, because I think they were concerned, Lights did say that even coming off of COVID, they were planning on a 25% decrease. Mm-hmm. That is what they planned for because they just did not know how the rest of the world was going to respond. If they were going to have people come out, if they would be too afraid to come out, he just didn't know. He has been overwhelmed with the response. He called Mr. Pelton and said, Mr. Pelton, better hang on to your hat, because guess what? All of these people that broke our records, every single one of them is heading up to that little place with the lakes called Oshkosh for AirVenture. Is that awesome?
Yeah, we're getting them spooled up, but they're going to need another dose.
That's right.
And about the end of July,
Yeah.
I believe, I don't have the exact dates of AirVenture, but Siri knows.
Siri knows.
Siri
yeah.
knows.
We can
Go to the
absolutely,
internet,
and you can Google it, and they'll have it. And you know what, Ben? Again, this goes back to something Light said, and I want to give a huge shout out to the Lakeland Aero Club and to all of the work that these students are doing. I know earlier we found out that those students actually completed the aircraft. I asked Lights, have they slept? He said not at all. They've actually got it together. They're taking the aircraft back up to Alabama to put the skin on it. They're going to skin it. They're going to go ahead. That doesn't sound good.
When would you apply the fabric?
Apply the fabric. That's
Okay.
better. Skinning it. Just I don't know if we can say that on the air.
Well, it is skin.
But it is skin. They're going to put the skin on it. They're going to paint it, and then the students are actually going to go to Alabama. They're going to do the designated flight hours, the hours that need to be put on the aircraft, and then 2 students from the Lakeland Aero Club are actually going to fly that aircraft up to AirVenture, and that aircraft is going to the airplane. The students from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy built by hand during Sun and Fun 2021.
And Laurie, this is a very, it sounds like it's just impossible to do, but it's very duplicatable. And you can do 1, you can do 10, you can do 100.
You might have a little experience with that, don't you?
A
Ben?
little bit. I like to pound rivets and pull rivets. A lot of those rivets on there are pulled, but and there's nothing wrong with a pulled rivet. Some people call them pop rivets, but they're blind rivets, and
Okay.
but they're strong.
That's awesome.
And or else we wouldn't have certified them that way.
That's right.
I think we're probably getting close to a wrap, are we not? What? Because
I don't know,
I'm just
but
about,
I do know, Ben, we do need to wrap, because there is one thing you and I are not going to miss, and that is going to be the last
Amish
air
donuts.
show. What Amish? Wait a minute, Ben. Amish donuts, and we've got an air show coming.
We do.
And Ben, I'm so excited. We get to see the last flight of course, the Blue Angels and their Super Hornets. We're going to have and I believe that the air show, if I'm correct, Ben, you'll know more than I do, starts at 1 o'clock.
Correct.
So you know what, Ben? It just gives us enough time. I'm looking at my watch to go get Amish donuts. Ben, you and I, and
How
what are
about-
those Dretzel things?
do a
I hear?
Dretzel. That's actually a big pretzel, and they put the glaze that they use for the donuts on it.
There you go.
So it's got a little bit salty, a little sweet. Hey, guy.
I love it.
And we've just got all sorts of dignitaries. Actually, Mr. Glenn Lowry himself, Glenn Lowry, walked in.
Absolutely.
It's really, there's a lot of good stuff to eat out there.
There is.
Oh, I got to tell you about the tenderloin sandwich, the pork tenderloin
Oh,
sandwich.
tell us about the tenderloin sandwich, Ben.
It's this big. It's this big. Got a little bun here, a little bun there, and you got to eat around the tenderloin to get into the bun.
So Sun and Fun is not only about aviation, Ben, it's about the food.
It's about food, and
Yes.
I've been told, I haven't seen it, I haven't partaken, but I've been told that they've got a couple beer kegs out there. Not to be mixed with aviation.
No,
Doesn't mix.
absolutely,
Doesn't mix.
absolutely.
But if you're
And-
not flying,
And you know what, Ben? I have to tell you, Sun and Fun is all about, and what I'm so glad to be back. It's all about engaging, educating, and accelerating. And it's all about accelerating the future of aviation and really inspiring and empowering
and more than
young
that,
people.
it's about Laura Vaughn.
It is?
It is all about Laura Vaughn. That's what we do here.
Wait, Ben, isn't her name? I think her name's on my parking ticket. Thank you, Laura Vaughn.
That'll teach you to walk in during a show.
But anyway, Ben, I'm so excited that we are back to Sun and Fun. We're getting back to normal. We're back to, there are so many great things happening on this campus, not only to promote aviation, but to promote STEM education. And really not just STEM, but STEAM. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And I'm so excited that Florida Aviation Network can be a part of that. We can be front and center always. And so it's just been, Ben, it's been such a wonderful I can't say enough about Sun. We are back to Sun and Fun
It's
2021.
good. And to coin another phrase that's been used a lot, but there is a new normal.
Yeah, there is.
And so let's embrace it. Let's deal with it. We'll work around it and overcome it.
Boom.
And you take it easy. We're going to sign this one off, and actually this is sign off for 2021. So the next time that you see either this set or something similar to that for the Florida Aviation Network, it will be at a different venue. And stay tuned. We might have a plane time coming to you in May. The very, very important plane time. And that's where the Steve Perilla and his group with Angel Flight is going to be there. We're going to really dig into what is Angel Flight all about and where they're going in their future, because they have some big plans, and we're proud to be part of those plans. Take it easy. I'm Ben Coleman, your anchor host, and this is Laurie Bradner. She is a host with the most, a hostess with the mostest, as she says. But we're going to sign this one off for 2021, and we will see you next year.